they sold over $50 million in chocolate just in Dubai airport. She's a celebrity, and how much did she sell? Over $200 million in 12 months. Everybody's heard about it, but everybody's like, how the hell did this thing get popular? They have sold over $900 million of product. And what I'm gonna do for you guys at the end of the session is share with you a way with even $0 to get more sales and revenue from your brands. Excited to be here, guys. Hopefully it's gonna be a very informative session for you all. But before I get started, who here has spent money on influencer marketing? 1, 2, 3. All right, so a lot of you haven't done that, which I'm really happy to hear, because this can be a place where you can make a lot of money, and this can be the exact same place where you can burn a lot of money. And what I'm gonna do for you guys at the end of the session is share with you a way with even $0 to get more sales and revenue from your brands. To let you know about who I am. Well, my name is Mohammad Fattal. I founded Alfan, and I've been doing influencer marketing before it was even called influencer marketing. In 2015, I did an $80,000 campaign for Turkish Airlines, where we flew creators from around the world, got them to Turkey, presented the country, and flew out. At that time, nobody was even considering influencer marketing. And at that same time, I represented creators who had hundreds of thousands of followers, and I helped them go from making $30,000 a year to making $1 million to $2 million a year. So I've seen the brand side very well, and I've seen the creator side very well. And there are a lot of amazing things that happen in this industry, but there are a lot of brands that have come to me before and told me, I've spent $30,000 on creators, and I didn't see a return, so I'll never do it again. And this is what I'm here to do today, to avoid for you guys to fall into any of those mistakes. So a bit more, we have helped creators make over $100 million. We've helped generate or create over 10,000 collaborations between creators and brands. And we've delivered over 1 billion views, not impressions, views to our brand partners. So we know a lot about the space, and I'm hoping to share that information with you guys. Just a bit about our company so you guys know exactly what we do. So we have a creator agency which supports the top creators and artists to help them make more money from their content, protect their identity. We have an app that is a creator storefront, where any creator today, if you guys are in the creator world and create content, you can launch a shop in minutes, offer coaching calls, paid services, or even promoting a collection of products that you love, where every time a fan buys that from you, you earn a commission. And this helped us build a huge database, which actually empowers our influencer marketing arm, where we've helped over 75 brands collaborate with creators on a monthly basis. So these are examples of some of the case studies that we've done. You see the likes of Trendyol. Who here knows Trendyol? Major fashion e-commerce website. We've done a lot of their events, a lot of their influencer marketing, generated them millions of dollars in sales. Hunger Station, it's the delivery here, the Talabat of Saudi. We've been running their influencer marketing for 3 years. Airello is a very cool example and relevant for you guys today. It's an eSIM company, and when they worked with us, they were still very early on in their journey. And 2 months ago, they announced that they became a $1 billion company. And a lot of it was spent on influencer marketing. Aywa just raised $100 million plus, and they are one of those guys that tell me we will spend unlimited amount on influencers, but they figured out the formula for it. And of course, Huawei, one of the tech giants. So you see, these brands consistently spend on influencers, but they know the rules that work really well for it today. And my goal for this session is basically, I want to tell you guys why influencer marketing is good for your brand. I'm not here to convince you, I'm here to educate you. And the second thing is, what is the method on how to collaborate with those creators? And finally, how that can be the best part of your marketing strategy. And I'm gonna go through live case studies on what you can do. And as I mentioned at the end, I'm going to share with you guys an example with $0 on how you can activate it today. So the power of creator collabs. Let's go for the first example. How big and how competitive is the chocolate industry? It's very, very competitive. You can't even get your chocolate bar in the shelves in Carrefour or any Giant or other stores. So how can you even compete with the likes of Hershey's and Mars and Ferrero Rocher and those giants that have been around for almost 100 plus years? Right? When you buy those chocolates, they put like, oh, we've been around since the 1800s to show you how credible and strong they are. Well, we all know Fixed Chocolate, a homegrown business that was founded here, and its initial success was thanks to a creator highlighting the power of the beauty of their product. It was designed for the social first generation, a very nice experience, and from there, they ended up exploding. And you might think that, hey, people are doing this organically, but actually, they are paying creators to collaborate. And in 6 months, in 2025, a statement has come out where they sold over $50 million in chocolate just in Dubai airport. Now, when people say it's impossible to compete here, if she was just running from the start, she never did that experimental video on TikTok, and she just ran billboards and paid ads, she would be competing with the likes of Mars, with the likes of Hershey's, with the likes of other companies. But when you are a company that is trying to disrupt and be unique, you have to go in a very, very unique, different area and do something that they haven't done and tapped into, which is the underpriced attention of creators today, right? If creators love your product, guess what? They'll use it for free. And I'm gonna share more examples on that. Now, who also knows Rhode, Hailey Bieber's lipstick? She's a celebrity. She already has a huge advantage. And of course, once she's done that, she can already get access to a lot of people without having to pay for marketing. But at the same time, she focused on making her product very good for the social age, very pleasant, and even created a phone case where it can hold it for you in the back. She focused on how to make that product work well with content. And you're gonna hear me, by the way, repeat these examples because that is how you succeed on social. And she ended up doing this 3-step strategy that helped her product go viral. She started first with a great design, like I mentioned. Then she did something called product seeding. She looked at creators who will be her customers and basically sent those products to them in a very beautiful package that they would be happy to test it out. And when you get a good product with your good customer, and I'm assuming here you guys all have amazing products and you believe in them 100%, you'll end up having these creators start to share those videos for free because you've gifted them a piece of your product. But she did not stop there. She focused on her campaign without it being broad in a million different areas onto 3 primary hashtags, which were the theme of her marketing strategy. The glazed donut lips, basically for the male audience here, when you put those on your lips, they kind of like shine a bit, which became very trendy on social. And she tried to focus on the skincare element and how healthy and natural the products are, which a lot of the other products that people put on their lips were not as healthy. And we know that our lips can consume, whatever is on it gets consumed in our bloodstream very, very quickly. Focusing on the USP, focusing on the message, and really in a tactical way with creators helped her explode. And how much did she sell? Over $200 million in 12 months. Now I know I'm sharing here like the North Star for a lot of you guys, but at the end of the day, we have to dream big to be able to execute. Because if we're all dreaming here to just get $100,000 in revenue, then none of us would be waking up at 5 a.m. and coming here to learn about influencer marketing, right? A third example. Who here has heard of Labubu? Everybody's heard about it, but everybody's like, how the hell did this thing get popular? And why are people paying over hundreds of dollars on a toy that can be made for a few dollars? Well, the strategy is simple. They created this unique thing where we think that somebody wants to buy a specific toy, but they did it in a very different way. They made the experience where, hey guys, I'm gonna unbox this Labubu toy. I have no idea what I bought. And people love the trend. They love the idea of the mystery. And by the way, this idea is replicated even in the makeup industry with those sponges that you guys put on to blush I know a lot about the makeup industry. But when you buy the packet, you have no idea what color is gonna come out, right? So the whole experiential format of unboxing a product that you have no idea what it is, gifting it to creators, and guess what? This is very easy to create content around. And what they ended up doing was they started wanting it to grow. So they're like, okay, what are the 4 major segments where this becomes very important for us to succeed in? They're like, how can we collaborate with fashion and lifestyle creators to style it with their outfits? How can we help the home decor creators or creators who create content in their house have it as a decoration piece? How can we basically get for people who are traveling? It's their travel companion, it's on their bag. It makes an old boring bag look a bit more stylish. And they made unique drops and collaborated with unique creators every single time it happened. So they had a few seasons. When a drop was about to be released, they would collaborate with a certain creators around a certain story. And basically, they have sold over $900 million of product, right? These are strategies and results that have not utilized other different forms of paid media and have went solely on 2 major factors: the reputation of the founder, which is very important, or 3 factors: the quality of the product and the experience around the product, and getting creators to amplify those stories. That is what creators are really good at doing. Creators are not really good at doing a 5 or 10 minute tutorial about how to sign up to your platform and where to find the settings button. but they are willing to amplify the emotion of your product and what the value that product will convey. And if you create a beautiful story around it, it makes it even more sellable. The chocolate pistachio in the middle of a chocolate bar, the unboxing of a mysterious product, adding your lip balm on the back of your phone case. These are all unique strategies that they utilize in a very, very different format to be able to be more popular. Now, this is amazing. They've sold $1 billion of products, but here I am with maybe $10,000, $5,000, $100,000. How can I spend it properly to be able to captivate and collaborate with creators in a more informative and cost-effective way? So there are 5 rules, and I'm glad there's only a few of you guys that have spent on influencer marketing, but there are 5 important rules that if you have to follow before you spend your next dollar on creators. The first one, don't focus on how famous the person is. Focus on the engagement that audience interacts with. I'll give you a simple example. I can have somebody with 10 million followers, but if they're getting 1,000 likes, those 1,000 people who liked and interacted with the post are the ones that will hopefully hop on and go to your website, right? Let's take this example. We did a collaboration with OKX, a crypto exchange, and this creator got 109,000 views on their video. Over 3,000 people liked and commented on that video. This is a 3% engagement rate. What does that mean? If somebody didn't comment or engaged with your video, do you think really they wanted to go visit your website or go check out your product? No. But the more likely someone that actually sees a video, comments and engages on it, the more likely they might go check out your product. And that is a very good way to identify if the creator will succeed for you or not. So if you see somebody with 1,000 followers, but they get like 100 likes a post, this is a golden opportunity. It's the best to catch them at the trending element. And that's why finding trending creators or somebody who goes very viral, you might be the first person to discover them on TikTok. Reach out to that person before you go to someone else. Now, again, lots of followers are not great. Here's a stat from our dashboard with a creator with 60 million followers. A lot of you guys would be like, man, I want to work with this guy, even if he promotes it for me for free. Now, even if he promotes your product for free, he will get you no sales, especially if your market is only in the UAE. Why? Look at where his audience is coming from. 19% in Iraq, 15% in Saudi, 10% in Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Jordan. UAE is not in his audience demographic. Do not collaborate with a creator that doesn't have your regional audience. If your product is global, this could work, but niche down, especially in the beginning. If you're trying to promote, let's say you have a restaurant here in Ras Al Khaimah, I would look at a local creator who lives here with 5,000 followers. He will do better than the top chef in Dubai, right? Make sure that there is direct affinity with the audience that you guys have. And if they send you a screenshot of their insights, be like, can I please get a screen recording? Actually, with AI, you can fake a lot of stuff now. But that's why we have a certified dashboard with clear data on all of the creators. But if you were collaborating directly, just at least see their phone before you collaborate with them to know that, hey, actually, those insights are real. Because we've had a creator with 20 million followers show that they have 70% audience in the UAE. Nobody got the joke, but there's less than 10 million people. So 70% is 12 million. So at the end of the day, it's industry humor. No, it's influencer marketing humor. So yeah, make sure they have the right audience. Third, what platform? Okay, I want to work with creators. Should they be on YouTube? Should they be on TikTok? Should they be on X? The first thing I want to say is before even thinking about those platforms, is think of your customer. Who is that customer that you're trying to target before picking a creator that you'd have loved to work with? Now, that customer, where do they consume content? YouTube is a very general platform. It's heavy on lifestyle, education, car reviews, tech reviews. Especially, I'm considering you guys as businesses in the UAE. YouTube has that audience. Now, if you want to target locals, for example, Instagram is great, and there are local Emiratis that are on Instagram, but Instagram is primarily known for expats that are living in the UAE, right? People that have come abroad and are working here, they're more Instagram heavy. They still exist, they have all types of audience, but I'm just telling you the strongest benefit of it. Let's say on Facebook, I've seen people run influencer marketing ads on Facebook. But Facebook, while it's a very global platform, the dominant users are more people that are from South Asia, Levant, and North Africa, here within the UAE, right? And that they have all the other nationalities, but again, these are the dominant ones. Snapchat is very, very big with locals, right? If you want to create content and you want to collaborate with creators to target Emiratis, Snapchat is a very strong platform for that. Now, X, they have everybody, but the type of people they have is different. They have the founders, the business people, the politicians, the ones interested in these kind of things. People are not looking at the best restaurant on X. They're looking at how can I improve my business? What can I learn about the news and politics that are coming up? So if your audience matches that persona, then X is great. And TikTok, I love TikTok because it's general, and it also geo-tagged. What do I mean by that? If I go to Ras Al Khaimah and I'm watching TikToks, I'm gonna see local videos of people here. But if I'm in Italy, my TikTok feed is very, very different, right? And that's the beautiful thing about those platforms, especially for the micro creators. So know the platform before knowing the creator. Now, this is very, very important. Who your customer is, your creator has to look just like them. Don't collaborate with somebody. For example, Hailey Bieber would not reach out to me to promote her lip balm, right? There's specific brands that work well for me that my audience would kind of relate with. So when you want to collaborate with a creator, do they look like a potential customer of yours? If they're not, even if the price is attractive, avoid that for now. Unless you're trying to hit mass scale where you're trying to target different niches or educate different markets to work with your product. And this is a very, very important rule. A lot of people miss this at the end. And how much should I pay now for a creator in the UAE? Right? This is the biggest problem when it comes to influencer marketing. And here is the rule. The higher the purchase power of the followers of that creator, and the more niche the audience, the more expensive. The more lower purchase power and broader audience, the cheaper that segment is. Let's look at a few examples. If I'm here to promote a financial investment app, I am targeting a creator that gives financial business advice with very strong reputation. People who are seeking financial advice on social might be 10,000 people, right? Actually, I'll give you a better example. I'm trying to sell software for businesses. How many businesses are in the UAE? I don't know that number, but let's say there's 100,000 businesses in the UAE, right? Your ideal creator will probably get 20K, 10K views per video. But if 10,000 business people in the UAE are watching his content, this is a very niche audience. So he'll probably charge a lot more for those 10,000 views compared to if I was going to visit a shawarma shop, because that is a very broad audience. All of us would love to go eat shawarma, right? It's not niche down, so the price per view gets cheaper. And usually the rule is, for 1 million views, you would look like paying anywhere from $1,000 to $15,000. We've even sold $50,000, right? But the more niche that someone goes, and the higher purchase power of the audience, the more expensive collaborating with them at. So for example, real estate clients, at the end of the day, if you collaborate with a creator that gets you 10,000 views, but gets you 5 sales from that, it came back. So a very important methodology when you're trying to price a creator is try to estimate how many sales will you get back. What do I mean by that? If my profit is $10,000 a product and I would get 5 sales, then I'll try to pay $10,000 because my customer acquisition cost is 20% of my profit. Always try to use the math in that way, right? And always estimate that, okay, in the beginning I'm gonna test. Hopefully for every $1,000 I spend, I make 2K. Then it becomes for every $1,000 you spend, you'll make 5K, and you learn and improve. You'll notice the trends that worked with the type of creator. And once you've seen a specific type of creator work well for you, double down on that segment. So these are very, very important rules to note before investing into creators. And I'll just go through them very, very quickly. Engagement rate and not followers. Know their audience and if they actually match the audience segment. Pick the platform that your customer is on. Make sure that your creator looks like your customer. And at the end of the day, you will end up paying more depending how niche and high purchase power the audience is compared to the general segment. There are 3 types of strategies that I'm going to share with you guys on a much more tactical approach. If you have under $10,000, what should you do? If you have around 10 to 100K, what should you do? And if you have around over $100,000, let's talk. I'm just kidding. But this is what you should do to spend on influencer marketing. So if you have under $10,000, and I have an idea for you guys at the end that I will share, but in the initial stages, there are 3 different ways that I would spend that $10K to help me understand the exact segment of audience and the type of creators that work best for my brand. And if you have less than 10K, prorata these numbers. I will work with 2 creators with under 50K followers, maybe pay them $1,000, $500 1.5K, depending on my audience demographic. And I will get them to see my product and share their story around my product in a very experiential manner, right? You'll spend around $3,000 and you will start to see all of that traffic coming to your website, to your restaurant, to your business, and how that ends up converting. The second thing I would do is I would try to create 10 handcrafted packages around your product and send it to 10 creators, 20 creators. And the cost of the material could cost you $100, $200. Let's say you make it really premium. Because at the end of the day, if they really like the product or the gift that you shared with them, they are more likely to share their story and talk about your product without you having to pay. You send 10 of those out, they create the whole experience around it. That can cost you $2,000 with materials and your cost of goods. And then from those videos that worked really well, organically without boosting and without any marketing, I would take that $5,000 and I would just boost it slowly. $50 a day, $100 a day on those 5 or 10 videos that I was able to get. And I would make sure that is tracked back to my website or to my business and see how that converts. Running this method will help you realize the potential of customers that will come through those creators and hopefully help you identify the pattern, what worked really well and what didn't work really well. And in business, what worked really well, you double down on it. And what didn't work, you stop. If you want to just test with one creator in one post, that is never enough to help you understand if it works really well. What are examples of UGC content, or how do they look like? These are examples where you can pay under $1,000 and a creator can produce a video around your product and brand to share their story in very different ways, right? Imagine those pieces of content, what they've been created for you. We are in an age where you no longer need production companies to go produce an ad around your product. Creators are the best storytellers and they've built their audience knowing how to create content. So if you give them the product and you tell them, hey, can you produce me a video for $500? Can you produce me a video for $1,000? And you take those content and you boost them, that is a very easy way to start testing and seeing different formats of creators that work well. Now, if you have $10,000 to $100,000, here is the rule that I follow with all our brand partners at Alfan. I would split my budget 15% on the top creators, 35% on the ones in the middle, and 50% on the micro and nano. Now, what's the strategy behind it here? When you're coming in a very competitive niche, you need to build trust and authenticity, right? And the best way to build trust and authenticity is if you collaborate with somebody with over 500,000 followers, their audience or other types of creators will be like, hey, like if this person who is well known trusted this product and said this about this product, then you know what? I trust it too. For example, we work with OKX. It's the second largest crypto exchange in the world. They built this trust and credibility because they're also sponsors of Manchester City. They're sponsors of the F1 McLaren team, right? So they got their mega sponsor. It could be something like that, or it could be a celebrity that you collaborate with. But I wouldn't go to celebrity. I would just pick a creator in your niche and in your domain that is very well respected. And that would be 15% of my budget. Now, the next segment, which is the 35%, which is the mid, these are creators who've made it a bit, over 100K followers. You know, they're working with a lot of brands. They understand how to do better storytelling. They've learned how to optimize to get the brand success so the brand works with them again. I would put 35% of my budget here. These are the storytellers where they will be able to convey your brand message in a very beautiful way that you'll be very satisfied with. And then the final piece is those UGC or nano examples. I would spend 50% of my budget to get 10 pieces of content, 100 pieces of content. Because the more videos you get to experiment with, the more likely you are to know if it succeeded. And by the way, you might think, hey, like, why shouldn't they all succeed? How do you think Meta or all the major platforms, when you run $1,000 paid spend, work? They target people. You might get 1 or 2 sales. And once they figured out that they got you 1 or 2 sales, they'll target more of those people. It's the same thing in the creator world. And by creating a lot of different varieties of content, you might see a specific storytelling, a specific hook, a specific message that was able to convey those customers. And very, very importantly, I know you all love your brand and you're all like hate for someone to damage the box or talk about it in a negative way. But the way we do our briefing strategy is we basically go to the brand itself and we tell it, we understand the brand's requirements, and then we go to the creator with the do's and don'ts. Don't use profanity. Make sure you create this experience. Like, I'll give you guys a simple example that you haven't realized. What's KitKat's unique experience that they do in all of their ads? Is that break, right? That's one of their requirements. Do whatever with my KitKat. Just make sure when you're about to crack it, emphasize on the break, the breaking it experience. It relates to also the break concept that they try to push, right? So you tell the creator this, and then you give them the creative freedom to tell your brand story in a way that captivates their audience. The more rules and emphasis you put on them, the less likely the video will succeed. And something you should do in that segment is, if you find a creator that works really well, the best way to optimize a spend is that you're like, hey, look, I'm gonna do this Instagram reel with you, but can you also post it on TikTok and YouTube Short? Why does that work very well? Because the hardest thing for a creator is to post that video. And when you get them to bundle that and post it on different platforms, you might have paid them $2,000. For an extra $1,000, they'll post it on 3. You just got 3x the exposure, right? So try to bundle these posts, because think about it, the hardest part is creating the content. For a creator to upload it after that, it becomes much, much easier. And if they don't agree, just try else with someone that agrees. So you see here, when we send a list to a brand, we're like, yeah, we recommend you work with her on Instagram and TikTok to bundle that, to get you the best ROI on your content. And by the way, just a piece here as well, the algorithm works in weird ways, but there's a specific rule that it follows. But sometimes your video can go viral on TikTok, it might not go viral on YouTube. And might go viral on Instagram, might not go viral somewhere else, right? So the more you put it somewhere else, the more likely it will get a chance to go viral. And now, for the brands that have over $100,000. You see here, I didn't change much. You follow the same blueprint where you small budget on the megas, a bit 35% on the mid, and then majority on the micro and nanos. But the difference that you do here is you create an experience around it. I'll give you guys an example for a campaign we did with L'Oreal. They had an event in Saudi, and they wanted to create a whole experience and invite creators to be able to test their skin. You know, they have these special machines, you test your skin, and they tell you, oh, your skin actually is not moisturized, it needs 1, 2, 3, or your hair requires this. They got the creator to go through a whole experience, and they recorded that experience and shared that with their audience. Now, what ends up happening here is that creating more experience helps the creator in storytelling. And the easier you make the creator tell a story, especially when you understand your brand story, the more likely it is to succeed. That's why we see a lot of the real estate companies that go live here in the UAE create an event. It's like, why are they spending so much money on just showing the tower? It's like, no, they want to bring all these people in to create a story about the experience. Who was the designer behind it? How does it look like? And being able to share that story back to their audience. And that can work in many, many different ways. It doesn't just have to be a physical product. It could be a community event where you bring in 10 creators and you talk about it. It could be in the PR box that you decide to give. Create an experience around it, and that will help you get way more result. But your spending on creators should be following the same methodology. A very good thing for creator brands to do at that stage is events, right? So Trendyol, for example, Black Friday is the biggest season. Guess what's happening in October? 3, 4 events for creators to know more about Trendyol. Why? They are preparing them like soldiers. So when Black Friday comes up, they're all educated and they're just sharing as much as they can about the platform, right? The better the stories and the experiences that you guys do around those events, the more likely that the creator will create something good out of it. And by the way, with events, when a creator attends there, for example, Kinder decided to launch a Kinderini. It's just a kid size, it's a different type of snack for kids. They went to Zabin Park, they booked a whole area, it's not too expensive, and we brought them 100 moms with their kids to have fun at the park. That's what's happening. A lot of content's being recorded, right? And that helped the brand get way more exposure than they would have had to pay to get to it. But that really only works when you get to the high levels. Now, before jumping into the solutions at Alfan that can help you guys as well, I said I was going to share with you guys an example of how you guys can start today at $0. I'll give you guys an example of myself, right? I didn't come from the advertising world. I came from the creator world. And the way we get our leads into Alfan is by creating content like we're shooting right now, and we upload that on social. We document the business that we're doing. And in the beginning, your phone and TikTok editing or CapCut or all these apps can help you create a video in a very, very simple way. And founder-led marketing has become the hack of this generation. How much do you think Tesla spends on marketing compared to Volkswagen or compared to Toyota? Zero. Elon Musk is the brand. You hate him or you love him. But he was able to use founder-led marketing, which captivated majority of the audiences to buy his product. And we see brands like Prime, that's run by Logan Paul and KSI, or Feastables by Mr. Beast. These creators have an unfair advantage. They have an audience for free. And while maybe today you might tell me my product is still in the building stage, I still don't have time to market it, or I don't have the budget to market it, or I haven't raised the investors to market it. Document what you're doing around your product. What problem or solution is it solving for you? And how can you solve that for your fans? And believe me, with 1,000 people, I did a video. I was just explaining to brands how we discover creators. It got me 130K views. Those 130K views had 40 brands come and say, I'm interested, I want to work on a campaign with you guys. One of those brands has spent over $5 million with us, right? And that's from a video in my office, on my phone, no editing. The power really comes, but the same way I told you guys, work with a lot of small creators to experiment with them. If you guys build your brands with the domain that you're trying to create content around, it's very cringy at first. Everybody will cringe, sure, I hear that all the time. But anybody who is successful will never cringe at you. And they will be more than happy to support you and let you keep going. And that is a very big hack, because what ends up happening is when you build 10,000 followers, you no longer need to spend to acquire those 10,000 customers anymore. They're following you for your journey. And when you also work on influencer marketing, not everything is about, I paid $1,000, I made 1,000 sales. A big element comes from brand value. Why? There's a million lip balms out there. Why did Hailey Bieber succeed compared to all the other ones that are in the market? Right? There's the brand that she has built around it. And you guys as founders, at no cost, can build that brand because people can relate to you, especially if you're solving a problem that is relatable to a lot of people. So if you guys don't have the 1K or 10K to spend at this stage, just every week, create at least 3 videos. And if you do this for 2 months, 3 months, I bet you one of those videos will get you your first customer. And basically, there are a lot of companies like us that will help you match with the right creators, simplify your deal management experience, learn on how to improve. The most important thing is, it's 3 rules to succeed. You need to make sure that you're matching with the right creators. At this stage, if you're not working with a lot of brands or a lot of creators, you can just manage those deals yourselves. But always, 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 after every post, learn what worked and what didn't work. And the more you improve on it, the faster you will get to success. And something that's very important that I wanted to share with you guys, your content looks different on the platform that it goes on, right? So when you work with a creator, the video that goes on X, if it's a TikTok video, it will not do very, very well, because X consumers watch things very differently. So make sure you localize the content once you put it on a different platform. And that could be from a storytelling angle, from the person that is creating the content itself. And these are just some of the creators that use Alfan. You guys will have access to them. You can reach out to them directly for collaborations. But these are some of the major creators that really help succeed. And we do, as Alfan, have a place where any of our brands that reach out to us for a campaign, we can send you a list automatically. Our creators have an app to see that information. We give you true insights, real-time reporting to make sure that your campaign succeeds really well. So thank you guys very much.